Greetings, YouTube. Welcome to Sunaru Gaming. I am Slayer. This is Camera Face.
Hey yo, what's going on?
Football's back! Well, it will be back very soon. It's confirmed to be back. We're both happy about that. We're both avid football enthusiasts, watching the football, not playing the football. We like to kick the ball around, but we don't play the football. Yeah, how are you feeling about it? And what do you think about this whole situation and what's going on with the football in a short period of time, etc.?
Right. Well, a bit nervous at first. I mean, we're obviously in a pandemic, so that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
The annoying part is it too soon to do so? I mean, at the time of recording, I think we're going to be hitting 40,000 deaths about tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that still doesn't seem like a thing to be taken care of. But
it does seem odd, doesn't it, to continue playing something where you have loads of people in one place, and football's a physical sport. It's not rugby, but it's still contact sport. As everyone's aware, sort of tackles, fouls, and lots of injuries. And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but it's odd, isn't it? Go on, I'll let you.
It is really odd. I mean, I do think there are going to be a lot of injuries due to the fact that we've had such a long break. Normally there's like a pre-season and there's a lot of substitutions. It's a bit lighter. We're going to have to kind of catch up on where we were, and where we were is about 10 games left of the season.
Yeah.
And it's an important 10 games of the season because obviously a lot of teams are going to want to be staying in the Premier League. A lot of teams are going to be fighting for top four.
Yeah.
So obviously at the moment you've got Liverpool, who's basically won it. You've got Man City, who are, I think they're second, Leicester third, Chelsea fourth, Manchester United fifth. And there's not too much of a difference between fourth and ninth.
Yeah, it's a very close race.
It was kind of tough as it was back then. I think even I read today that there was one person that has the tested positive for the coronavirus. I think it's a Tottenham player, but they haven't disclosed the name or anything. Typical, huh? But no, I mean
that's shit. Whoever it is, it's shit.
Yeah. But I'm glad it's coming back. I mean, from watching the Bundesliga, it can work, and there is no social distancing. I do think it's going to impact on the people that live here as well, in a positive way and B in a negative way. So the positive way is obviously us getting football back.
National sport,
Yeah. Something we've been waiting for 3 months now.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. It feels longer because even when the season's off and it's pre-season and summer, you're always looking forward to the football, but at least you had an ending. It just was cut short for us. So it's strangely enough, the last United game against Lask there was no one in the stadium, and that was odd to watch. So it's going to be really odd seeing the Premier League team. I know the Bundesliga have done it. I think they had, by the first, they had like 20, they played 27 games, something like that. And only 5 were home wins. That's insane. Only 5 home wins in 27 games,
Yeah, there are no home advantages because we haven't got the crowds. So, they say like the crowd's like the 12th player. And so give the team enthusiasm to continue, especially like for the lower teams like Burnley or go to one of their stadiums. But I do think there are some negatives. I think this would give people more of an excuse to go to each other's houses and watching the football.
Piss around.
Yeah. And they'll probably see if the people on TV can go and do it, especially the younger people, they'll be like, well, if they can go and do that, why can't we? So it's I know the Premier League have got their the provisions in place to be supporting them. So they've got the regular testing, they've got they are basically bubbled, whilst at the moment for us regular people, no. The best thing we can do is at the moment
of us not earning hundreds of thousands a week. Definitely
a bit of freedom.
Yeah.
How about you for you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that it's going to be really nice to have it so much in such a short period of time. And you're really going to see who's got depth of squad, because there's going to be so much squad rotation during this period of time, which, I mean, you hinted at injuries before. It's given teams a lot of time for most of their players to come back from injury, but it's leaving it open. But yeah, any team that were previously struggling with depth of squad, regardless of injury, are going to be really struggling during this time period. Yeah,
makes sense.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the first few games. I know that your team have got a difficult first game in store. But like we're saying, the home teams aren't necessarily doing well in Germany. Maybe that will translate into the Premier League.
I mean, admittedly though, Arsenal have Man City. I think it's coming up on the Wednesday, 17th of June. So what's going to be happening? I think that's a positive, because no players are prepared for it. So Man City aren't going to be the best they can be on that date. And I don't think Arsenal were ever that good on that date. So I think it's going to be make more of an even. This season has been horrible. So I'm kind of glad because it makes it more of a a level playing field.
Yeah, and the underdogs at the moment definitely have a, if you're really gunning, I think you're right. I think it kind of feels like that game. I mean, it's going to be a tough game, regardless of when you play Man City at the moment. It's going to be a tough game, whether you win, draw, lose, whatever. But it's one that it's Man City are very beatable this season as well. They've shown that they've got a lot of weaknesses, and okay, so have Arsenal. But I mean, again, if the fire is there and Arsenal if I don't know what the training's been like for Arsenal, but if their training's been intense, away from each other and then now with each other, or going into the Premier League, then I mean, they've got a chance to do it. I think there'll be all eyes on those first couple of games on that Wednesday, just because regardless of whether you support those teams or not, the football's back.
Football's back, yeah.
And the Bundesliga is cool, but it's not the same as the Premier League.
It's been good. Have you even watched any of the Bundesliga?
I've watched some of it. It's been all right. Some of the upsets have been good. Again, like we said, with the home side's not doing quite so well.
Yeah.
It's been cool.
Cool. So I guess to go on with that, I've got the remaining fixtures.
Woohoo!
Well, we haven't got the dates yet because they haven't been provided to BBC or the Premier League website or anything like that. So we're going to talk about our main teams.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or we'll be here forever.
Yeah. So I guess let's start off with Manchester United at home. So for the last 4 home games you guys have got Sheffield United, who are currently in 6th place or 5th place. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Southampton, Bournemouth, and then you've got West Ham away.
Hampton.
It's not looking like the worst fixture for you guys. I mean,
we struggle agreed. We struggle, strangely enough, United this season in particular, but notably over the last few seasons, have struggled. Anyone outside of the top 6, especially or what's considered the top 6 teams in the Premier League anyway. The smaller teams we've really struggled against, and Sheffield United is going to be a really tough one for us. However,
they've been playing really well.
Yeah, however, we have no current injuries unless someone's got injured in the time since looking it up. We have a full squad, and we have quite a good squad for rotation. Not only that, not only have we now got Bruno Fernandes, who's shown that it's helped unlocking those tougher, smaller teams. Pogba's back. Pogba's also very good at unlocking teams. Whether or not they'll be played in the same team is another thing altogether. I can imagine they will, but not very often because of rotation and the amount of games. But with the smaller teams in mind and the more physical players like Ighalo staying on, that's going to be really helpful. Yeah, and Rashford being back is a big key, sort of the heart of the team. He's so they're going to be tough for us because we're still learning to unlock those teams, but we now have the capability, the players, and the squad rotation to be able to do that. So I don't necessarily think they're going to... I think Leicester is going to pose more... Leicester and Sheffield United are the 2 teams that are going to pose more of a problem going back than anything else.
Oh, yes. I think so. Do you reckon the fact that Pogba and Rashford have been out for so long is going to make him that much more important for when they come back? Because they obviously weren't going to be here for the end of the season on a traditional sense. But the fact that they've been injured, they've been raring to go, do you think that's going to help with the progression for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think Rashford is probably, I mean, a lot of people say he's like the talisman of the team, and the reasons for that are fairly justified. I mean, the way Rashford plays when he plays, and when he plays with other players around him that he's used to interacting with for little passes and over the top and running around the back, Rashford's integral for finishing the season really well. In that sense, no other, obviously, because pandemic. In that sense, it's lucky we've got Rashford back now where we wouldn't normally have him. A similar thing with Pogba. I mean, Pogba would have been back for some of right at the end of the season, I think, considering when the pandemic happened and he was sort of in recovery coming back. Pogba's important to the team. I mean, he's the most important player in midfield at United for the last, 3 years specifically. And then before that as well, obviously one of the most important players, easily standing out as the best player in midfield. Now Bruno Fernandes is there as a bit of competition, but they are slightly different players. Pogba's more of a cherry on top. So will he be the cherry on top with Bruno Fernandes and Matic in midfield? You know, that's quite exciting for me because Bruno Fernandes coming in was a phenomenon at the time, just clicked. Wow. Just seeing how he played and unlocking teams and just playing as if he'd been there a couple of seasons was impressive. May or may not click with Fernandes and Pogba. That is yet to be seen. Obviously, those two have not been seen playing full matches together. But I can only presume from Pogba's standpoint, coming from like World Cup winning side with France and things like that, whenever he's got better players around him, I mean, same for anyone, but again, Pogba's a cherry on top player. Having someone else like that in midfield who could take some of those responsibilities. So you got Fernandes coming at you, right, mark him, get on it. Oh shit, he's passed it to Pogba. Oh crap, Pogba's passed it to Rashford. Oh crap, what's going on? Oh, Martial's got the ball. You know, it's the fact that there's different combinations there, and even some of those players that I've mentioned, if they're not there, it could be Dan James or Igalo. You know, I mean, it's an aggressive team, an aggressive attacking team, which is a nice prospect for me, and definitely having Pogba back will make this very interesting. And Rashford needs to be back because we need him. So. Yeah, but how about you with some of the Arsenal players and the Arsenal injuries?
I haven't finished finished with your team. Yeah, you still got some more ways. I mean, your first match, if I remember correctly, is against Spurs, and you know you've got Harry Kane back. You know you've got Son back.
Yeah.
Maybe Sissoko. I might be wrong about that.
Yeah, I need to have a look.
But there are going to be some players back. Yeah, there are no Wrexhams, but.
No,
do they really need them at the moment?
It sucks missing your playmaker, doesn't it?
And you guys
it's like taking Bruno Fernandes out of the equation, isn't it? When you take Eriksen out of someone that's very good at unlocking the team, and you can play him in several different positions. He can make very important passes and can take corners and free kicks. So, I mean, it's still a big opposition, but considering how we played against them recently, bloody hell, my room is falling apart. That was my desk. But considering how we played against them in recent times, I'm not scared at all. I mean, again, harking back to the fact that Solskjaer beat Mourinho and Pep in the same week previously only gives me strength when United have got a full squad at command. And for the first game, it's going to be tough. It's going to be raw because everyone's not going to be as honed as they were, but everyone's going to be hungry. And you got two counter-attacking sides against each other. So the question is, who will be unlocking more? And obviously, in terms of experience, a Mourinho side you would expect to be extremely tight at the back. But considering some of Spurs' performances this season, later in the season, I mean, we've got to give him a chance. It's his first season, but given that, I'm fairly confident going into that game. Yeah. Than I probably would have been otherwise, especially without Eriksen.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's about Spurs. I'm hoping it's going to be at least a draw on that. What do you reckon the score will be?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Do you know what? After saying all that, it's probably going to be a really bland match, and I
I think
reckon,
so.
yeah. And we've been scoring loads this season, but so I definitely think there'll be goal. I think that might be a 1-0 United. That one.
Fair.
I think
All
it'll be
right, so
like a
you got
really boring first half, and then be like a 1-0 Knicks United win in like the 78th minute or something.
maybe. I reckon it'll be 1-1 because it's the first match back.
It is.
Just because it's yeah, I
Spurs are
think
playing at
first match
home
back
though,
is going to
which
be
means
tough.
we have the.
Well, there are a few games that are playing in neutral events, but it's not going to be that one, is it? You've also got Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
that's going to be a tough game for you guys. And
it
you've
would
also
have.
got
Yeah,
Brighton
yeah,
and Aston Villa.
yeah. Crystal Palace is. Crystal Palace we struggled against last time for the specific reason of not being able to unlock their defence. Maybe that is one where you will see Pogba and Fernandes. Who knows? I think that comes down to whose injuries for a start because of where it's placed. Secondly, squad rotation, and where we are playing with like Europa and other cups and things that will be coming up. So it really depends on that, I think. Brighton, again,
Will be tough.
similar situation. Yeah, I mean, if it's at a point where they've been working on unlocking teams in training, which has been United's biggest problem this season specifically, other seasons before, then you're talking less of a problem. And everyone was firing on all cylinders. And I mean, again, looking at that attack and defense, certainly strongest defense that we've had for the longest time. And Wan-Bissaka's not just his stats, but he's just incredible to watch on that right backhand side.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Sterling
Surprisingly, he's still quite young
and stuff. And yeah, he's impressive. So defensively, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with us.
I was going to say with Brighton, I think it might be tougher than you think, only because they're going to be in a relegation battle. So I think the last 4 or 5 teams are going to be extremely tough to be beaten. I mean, it might be worth.
I think
with some teams getting just a point, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not,
and it comes down to 2 things as well as that as well. I think that if United, if the cups are going and they're still in the cups around those time, then that's probably slightly more important. If there's no cups there, then they're going to be wanting to get in the top 4, and top 4 again, Premier League bread and butter. Top 4 is important, and it's very close, and we're firing on all cylinders. It's been up and up this season. So they're going to be really tough games, but I'm not concerned at this point of time. Ask me again when we're in the middle of it. Ask me again when Rashford's injured and Fernandes is out and something's happened with Pogba's agent. Right, ask me again in like 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, we'll do this again. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, we can make it a regular short section segment in the podcast if you want.
Cool. I like that. Just for the viewers at home, just to let you guys know. So Brighton are 15th. Brighton 15th with 29 points. West Ham are 16th with 27. Watford are 17th with 27. Bournemouth are 18th with 27. Aston Villa are 19th with 25. And then Norwich, 21 points on 20. So I reckon any of those plus Sheffield United are going to be very, very difficult to be beaten.
Sheffield's going to be tough. That's the one that's sort of massive to overcome. I mean, that's out of all those teams, that's the biggest one I'm worried about. If we're scoring left, right, and centre, the other teams will be tough, but unless they're going to have to score to cause a major concern. Yeah, whereas Sheffield can. We've seen it. They've been brilliant this season, considering they've been impressive.
Yeah, it's not too often that we get a team that comes up from the Championship and do so well for the first season. I mean, there were glimpses of it with Wolves. Yeah, Norwich were doing really well at the beginning with Pookie, and then it just very, very fast.
Your favourite non-Arsenal player?
Yeah, no, love him. He's my boy, Pookie. All right, so with Arsenal's one, we've got at home, we're going to have Norwich, Liverpool, Watford, and Leicester.
Wow, that's way worse.
Yeah, it is really bad.
Even Watford are
great.
tough. I know they're not doing very well at the moment. Watford are a really physical team.
Yeah.
That's something Arsenal struggled with in recent years, that really physical. Yeah.
But they may not have Troy Deeney. I'm just thinking
okay.
about it.
That's interesting.
Because if you remember, I think it was a couple of weeks back where he said he was not going to be joining the football thing because obviously he's looking after his kid who's got a kind of like asthma and he's like 5 months old.
Yeah, that's shit.
Be joining it. I mean, it's his choice, and you got to respect his choice, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's more important at the end of the day. Good. I think that's good on him. I mean, he's choosing to be a father over his. If you're in any job, that would always come first. So good on him.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not looking forward to these games. So we might be all right.
What sticks out for me? What do you think about playing Liverpool?
It depends if they've already won it. Is the only thing, because if they've already won it, they might turn the gas off.
Maybe.
So I reckon. I mean, that could either be a draw or a loss. I don't think Arsenal will win that. I don't think. I think Arsenal have the capability of beating Norwich. That shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I can see them. I can see them beating Norwich.
Watford, I reckon it'll be a draw. Leicester, I think that can either be a draw or a loss. I don't think we'll beat Leicester especially in the form they were in.
Yeah.
We've also got Brighton, but we are away. So
I think you'll beat Brighton.
I think we should be Brighton, but again, away form for Arsenal has never been great. There was something, what's it called? I think it was DT that said something really funny. It was like Arsenal do social distancing anyway, so.
I see. I get it.
In the corner, when doing corners, we do social
distancing from the goal line.
Yeah. And I think we got Man City as well. That's obviously the first match. I reckon it could be either a draw.
Both teams are going to want that. First game back. Yeah, first game back. It's going to be tough. It's a chance for Arsenal. If Arsenal win that, they could get a momentum built up and beat those teams, maybe draw or squeeze a win out of Liverpool. You don't even know. But that first game is important. A draw there is not a loss in that regard. We know where City stand in regard to how good they are in the Premier League. So losing to them is no big thing. It happens. I would expect a draw, and if Arsenal beat them, good on Arsenal, I think.
Yeah. I hope so. I do hope so. I mean, Arteta used to work for Pep as a coach, so I do think he has some intel.
Not do so well when he left. A bit like Mourinho's right hand.
All right, and I think it's the last couple is going to be Southampton away and Spurs away. I think the Spurs one is going to be such a weird one to do, just because it's going to be like it's a rivalry. Really strong rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham, and to have it with no fans at all is going to be the weirdest thing to watch. It's going to literally be on abilities, so I reckon it'll be a draw because I just don't think either one of the two are going to be.
I think strong. Spurs without Eriksen severely weakened. It's a tough one. I mean, again, Arsenal have the firepower; they've got the strikers, but it's when you look further back, it's a bit of a concern. How do you feel about that? I mean, in terms of the squad and Arsenal's depth of squad, how are you feeling about that?
I mean, we've got about 8 centre-backs, so we should be fine.
Let's put them all on the pitch against City. Just U6, Mark Sterling.
I think we've got a good enough team to beat a Spurs at the moment. I mean, we've obviously got like an Aubameyang who can really get the goals in. But a lot of it's to do with crowds as well. So that has helped Arsenal in the past.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like without the crowds? We are away, and like you said in the earlier, that the Bundesliga, the away ratio to home ratio is ridiculous. Just because of that, I think we could win that.
Yeah, we might be able to steal it. I mean, it's still going into that match as more of a neutral with that. Spurs would always be the slightly stronger side. Again, it's like having one bullet less without Eriksen. So that leaves the door open. Aubameyang definitely is dangerous player and impressive to watch. Regardless if you like Arsenal or not, Aubameyang's impressive to watch. Yeah, attacking wise, Arsenal, they have the firepower going forwards, Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean,
what about midfield? Do you have any concerns over midfield and depth in midfield?
Well, who do we got? Guendouzi, Xhaka. I think Torreira is going to be back very, very soon. So I don't think he's going to be back for the first part, but the second part of it. Who else is in midfield? Ozil, Ceballos. If Ceballos actually does something, like he was an interesting signing.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, this is kind of good. It might be like a good Ramsey replacement. But at the moment, it seems like he had 2 good games. Yeah, so he had 2 good games. And then he's just gone right down. And I'm hoping this little bit of a break would actually be able to help him out. So we should be okay midfield wise.
Okay.
Defense wise, we're always going to be struggling. At the end of the day, it's not going to help. We got Tierney back as well, which I'm really happy about. But Saka has been doing phenomenal in this time because he's already got like 11 assists. And he's just like covering for the left back because he's not a left back, he's a left winger. But they obviously, when Kolasinac and Tierney, when they can do anything, like they were both injured, so they needed someone to be in this place. And he hasn't got the attitude of Nathan Miles. If you remember him, he plays on the right side, and I think he even declared that he didn't want to play on the right back. He's like, I'm not a right back. I don't want to be playing right back, which is why we've never seen him again.
Yeah,
which is quite ironic, really. We've also got players that have never played for us yet.
You can't be making demands when you're up and coming like that as well.
No,
yeah, you've got to prove it, and then prove yourself in the position you do want to play in.
Yeah, I mean, look, what's the guy from from Man United? He was your right back.
Dalot?
No, your new guy. Yeah, that's the guy. He used to be a right back, a right winger for Crystal Palace, but there was an injury, so they needed someone. He went in that place, and he was phenomenal. And that's what you guys have signed him for. The same kind of situation could have happened for Nathan Miles, but
I think Fosu Mensah was injured actually, and I think that Wan-Bissaka took his place, and we bought Wan-Bissaka, and Fosu Mensah's not been playing very much. It's funny. It's funny that
it is. So just to move on quickly, we've got the last one is going to be Arsenal versus Wolves. So I just want to move on from that quickly. 1 second. All right, cool. So we've got the listing for the top. So yeah, listing for the top 8 positions or top 9 positions. So we got Liverpool, number 1, Man City, number 2, Leicester, number 3, Chelsea, number 4, Man United, number 5, Wolves, number 6, Sheffield United, number 7, Tottenham, number 8, Arsenal, number 9. Who do you think, and in what position do you think is going to end up at the end of the season?
So where are those 9? I better write them down to remember them. Liverpool will win. I think City will be second. I think that break of time will be good for them. I think previously they were struggling, and I think that they might have lost being second, but I think they're going to maintain it. I think that I feel that United are going to steal 4th place, and it's going to be really tough. I think Wolves and Sheffield will finish where they are. I kind of feel like I don't know, because it feels like Arsenal might be able to leapfrog to 8th. It's difficult with Arsenal this season because normally I wouldn't write them off, and I don't want to write them off, but it's a little bit more unpredictable whether they're gonna move up or not.
I mean, we are not far. I mean, Manchester United at the moment in 5th place are 45 points, whilst Arsenal at the moment are 9th place with 40 points, and Arsenal have a game in hand, which is the Man City game. If we win that one, for example, we will be either 8th or we will be 6th, depending on goal difference.
And then there's still end of season. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like Arsenal are going to creep right up to like 5th or anything. It doesn't feel like that. That's me personally. If, as a supporter, if that was my team, it would always feel like it's within reach. Yeah, I think that maybe 6th. Maybe they could crawl to 6th. I don't know. I can see Sheffield United struggling at some point, so I can easily see Arsenal leapfrogging Sheffield. Wolves is another question altogether. Wolves are really good and really tough, and I think it depends on Wolves' fixtures as well. If I knew all of Wolves' fixtures, but I don't think we should go that in depth. Yeah, I think Liverpool win it. City will come second. United will scrape 4th. 3rd place will remain the same. Then I think you'll have Spurs
You
and
think
Chelsea.
Leicester will remain the same?
Yeah, I think Leicester will remain the same. I think then you will have Chelsea, Spurs, Wolves, Arsenal, Sheffield.
Ooh. But looking at the fixtures for Wolves, they've only got Chelsea and Sheffield United as their tough matches.
There you go then.
And Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it could be a
roll of the dice for that one. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. How about you? Because I know yours is going to be very different.
Oh, very different, very different. So I do think Liverpool won it.
Definitely,
there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Man City. I reckon Chelsea.
Okay, 3rd. Okay, that's interesting.
Because I don't think Leicester are gonna do as well at the very end, where it was gonna be really important. Do you remember last year where everyone was gunning for 4th place and everyone fucked up and it was anyone's chance to get it and no one could get it, and then it was I can't remember. I think Tottenham reached the 4th place, but I think it was by luck or something.
As an Arsenal supporter, you might see it as luck. Yeah, I think
everyone had the opportunity to win.
Yeah, I mean the way
flopped.
Given the fact we don't know quite how everyone's going to play in this situation, the way that Leicester have been playing this season, it doesn't feel like they're going to have a late fuck up. So, cool. So you think Chelsea and then Leicester, is it? Did you say? Or do you think Leicester will drop?
I think they'll drop. I reckon they'll go down to 6th place.
Okay.
I reckon it'd be Man United in 4th, Tottenham in. Don't want to admit it. Arsenal 6th.
Yeah, well, that was expected.
And then Tottenham goes down to 11th. Yeah, and I reckon Crystal Palace will go up, Burnley will go up, and yeah, that's the rest of the story. So I reckon Arsenal 6th, Tottenham, what was it, 11th or 12th?
Oh dear.
Mourinho was gonna have it's gonna be a shambolic season for Mourinho. Anyway,
first season's a bit of a throwaway though, isn't it? I think that if you can't do it, if it's the same thing next season, then fair enough. But first season's a bit of a throwaway. Cool, that's good to know. All right, we can come back to that at the end of the season, I guess.
Oh yeah.
What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Good question. So still on that Evony mobile game app.
Is that the one with the thing in it? Yeah, you got to move the little things and the guys there.
Yeah,
it's like lava.
I think once you get to level 17, there isn't any more of that.
Talking about mobile games.
The other games I've been playing. What did I play the other day? So I played Far Cry 5. So
nice.
Previously I've been playing what's called Far Cry New Dawn, and that's probably the latest version of the Far Cry series. But then I saw there was a deal on Far Cry 5. So what I did was bought that. It gave me Far Cry 3 for free. So
nice. Oh wow, Far Cry 3 is really good.
I'm going to be playing that at some point. I might actually do a little bit on the channel, see how it goes. Because I want to do a little test between all the different games that we can do on Far Cry.
Brilliant.
Do a comparison and see how that goes.
A comparison, if you will.
I guess so. Maybe do a review or something. Because the Far Cry is pretty good. So I do like the Far Cry. What else have I been playing? I think that's about it, to be honest. I've just been on that one. You?
Nice. I was going to ask you, what do you prefer between those two? But I think if you're going to do a comparison, we'll wait till your comparison's out, so I'm not stealing your content for the
Yeah, please
podcast.
don't. I don't have much content.
What have I been playing? Been playing. We've done a couple of co-op stuff, haven't we? That's coming out very soon. We've done a bit of Halo. Hopefully that comes together.
Halo 2. Yeah.
Halo 2. Master Grief Collection. What was the other one? Master Queef.
Master Queef or something like that, yeah.
Master Queef.
The Division 2, I think you played a little bit of.
The Diversion 2. And then, more importantly, been playing Neo Geo. Picked up a Neo Geo.
Have you got it with you?
Thing. That was going to be my thing. Yeah, I've been playing some Neo Geo games. And you've seen on the channel, Real Bout Fatal Fury came out. Was playing that. Been playing Matra Melee, which is a really good one. I might do for the channel. That's a fighting game, but the concept is it's very anime looking, and I think she's a princess. You have to bear with me because it's in Japanese. This princess is looking for a husband, and they're having this like fighting tournament. So to see, that's where the melee part comes in. Matra melee instead of matrimony comes in, and that boss fight, you actually fight her as the boss fight, and then you have like wedding music and it's so Japanese. It's brilliant, and some of the most fantastic music and odd characters. You be this old lady, and you can take out your false teeth and throw it like a Hadouken or something.
What?
Yeah, there's I don't know if you've heard of the furries. There's a guy that's dressed up in like a dog costume called Poochie, and it's all a bit odd. It's very Japanese, but the music's fantastic. The characters are hilarious. The game's so well done. Boss fight is hard as nails. I've not beaten her yet, but I'm gonna record it for the channel or something. It's so much fun. And I really like the anime look and the music and stuff. Nice. So I'll do that for the channel at some point. I think people will appreciate that one. It's whether you like old-fashioned games or not, that's just the concept alone is hilarious. And you have to fight your bride before you can marry her. It's so strange.
It sounds a little bit like Dragon Ball, though. You know when Goku had to face what's it called, Chi-Chi in the World Tour, and then it's like that was,
but more weird.
On the same day,
it's way more. There's an. I don't know if there are, because they come up saying things just before the fight. If you face her as Poochie, she goes, "I don't even like dogs" and stuff like that, and I can't remember what she said when you're the old lady. It was just hilarious. I was just there laughing. Just her, oh my God, I better win this. I'm marrying this old lady. There's all sorts of characters in that. It's absolutely hilarious. There's some great ideas and some great Japanese games on that console. Yeah, I've been
sure
playing.
Everyone else is. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy watching that. And if you guys haven't seen it already, go and watch the Neo Geo stuff.
Yeah.
We got on the every other Monday, we got talks with Graham Pike, who is the New Earth creator.
New Earth magazine, And at the moment in the lockdown series on Tuesdays, I've been playing Neo Geo ports. And eventually that'll turn into some Neo Geo games for the near future. That's what.
So if you guys don't know anything about Neo Geo like I do, because I don't know fuck all about Neo Geo, but I've been watching some Neo Geo and I'm starting to learn some stuff. So if you guys want to
Galaxy Fight and Soccer Brawl,
we don't talk about that. But yeah, if you guys want a bit of education with that, definitely go and check them out. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, Graham knows his stuff, and obviously if you've got any questions, put them in the comments in any of our Neo Geo videos or this video, or on @Sunaru Gaming on Twitter, and I don't mind asking him. Yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant. Next section.
Next section
is get your thing out. So what have you brought? What's your thing?
My ting. Right. Okay. So If you guys have watched our co-op episode, which was Rocket League, which was out last Friday. Yep, I hope so. if it's uploaded in time. I didn't have a webcam, so the only thing I was able to do was be able to record my voice, and I was recorded Sly's webcam. He's got a
I didn't even know.
Is it C9 C910? I think it is.
Oh, the webcams.
Yeah.
There's C920 and C922.
Yeah, so I think yours is a C920, right?
Nice.
And basically, I saw this on special offer. Actually, I think it was like £75.
Nice.
But finally got myself a webcam, so I thought, do this. I didn't know if you guys want to do an unboxing video or anything like that, but I've cut the box anyway. So and I've been using it.
Did you have like loads of webcams fight each other, and then you had to marry the webcam at the end, and that was the webcam that won? Oh, I should do that next time. Next time you need a microphone or something.
I was going to get your one, but then I was like, well, this one's only like £5 more expensive. So I was
nice.
Like, okay,
yeah, why not?
Go and get that one.
Well, why not?
And I had to wait almost 2 months for it, just because when I ordered it on Amazon, it was at the time when the lockdown thing whole started. So I paid the money, but then they said, oh, we'll let you know when it comes. 2 months later, I get a message saying, okay, well, it's going to come next Tuesday or next Sunday or whatever it was.
Nice.
So it was I'm just really glad I'm able to do it. Now I'm going to be able to do visuals with you guys for, well, I guess, co-op season. So you can still see us two, guess, playing video games together. And I think
I'm guessing you're not using it right now then.
No, I'm using your computer.
Just the laptop one, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe next time.
Yet.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, I don't think I need it right now. I mean, this one looks pretty decent, to be honest.
Yeah, as long as there's all right lighting. I don't think it really matters for stuff like this.
Yeah, which I finally got lighting as well, which is really decent.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thing, and I'm very, very, very happy about it. So, and got the headphones as well. But yeah,
I was gonna say nice headphones, decent headphones.
Yeah, shiny. I don't know which ones these are though. I can't remember.
It's on the side.
DT 770 Pro 80 OHP.
Nice. Ohms. Yeah, ohms. Nice one.
Yeah, quality.
Yeah.
Well, how about you?
My thing of the week is I finally bought an AES Neo Geo Adult Entertainment System. That sounds really dodgy now. It never used to sound that dodgy. AES Adult Entertainment System. And Neo Geo is literally arcade machine in a thing, whereas a lot of the older consoles used to claim it, but the ports were always never as good as the arcade. That is literally an arcade machine. The downside, apart from the silly expense of the games, which are insane, is this is the size of the cartridge that goes into it.
Jesus.
And
that is literally
that's
as
heavy
big as
duty, it's beefy, isn't it? But then you get your little, yeah.
I mean, for what, 6 buttons and a joystick, whatever you want to call it, that is pretty big.
Oh, a minute. Yeah, I mean, actually, it's not that heavy. I was expecting it to be a lot heavier. I can't remember. Again, played it at Graham's when I was younger. Happy to own the system again now. I will at some point get. I don't know where to put everything. Everything falls down. There's a cartridge that is exactly like this. Well, not exactly like this. It looks like this, but you can put a modern day memory card in the side, and it has all of the games from the system on it. So instead of paying upwards of hundreds and potentially thousands, which I would never spend on games because some of those games are ridiculously rare and expensive, I've already got like most of my favorite games on port. So at some point I will get that. That sort of came recommended from I've forgotten his name. Fraser Rhodes, the Neo Geo collector. So I'll probably get that at some point. It covers the games, and then you got all of them. This one here is called a 161 in one Neo Geo cartridge, and they're basically
games of that.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of a, when you used to get those consoles and it says 10,000 games in one console, and it's all like copies of the same thing. There's a lot of buggy games in there, and some of them work. So ultimately, there's only about 40 games in there that aren't, when you're considering there's modded versions of them, which are shit. And then of those 40 odd games, I would say 20 look not very good, or they've got some sort of bug problem. So ultimately, there's not that many games in there. I mean, to look at it on the menu, yes, but playable ones, no, there's less. But I got that because it's cheap for now, because I can't afford that other cartridge as well at this point in time. But I mean, it's impressed. Like, some of those games are transformed playing them on Neo Geo, and with they actually released a normal sized control pad for back in the day that came out with the CD console. But instead of, you used to just have D-pads like on the Saturn and the PlayStation before they had analog sticks and stuff. Well, this one had an 8-directional, almost analog type finger pad. And you had to, because obviously if it was competing with having one of these, it's actually one of the earlier ones that did that, which is brilliant. Again, quite expensive. It's the same price as a normal day controller, which seems like a lot of money these days, and they have a lot of problems. But playing some of those games with like Soccer Brawl's transformed, it plays so well on the original console with an analog with a joystick, compared to playing it with a D-pad on a modern day controller on a port. It's astonishing, the change. Some of the other games take more getting used to, because it's getting used to using a joystick. But yeah, no, overall really happy, and I'm glad. I mean, I've always been into some Neo Geo games. I've got good memories of it, but it's unlocked a whole new world for me, gaming wise, and just some really impressive games on it. So I'm chuffed to have a Neo Geo. Yes,
nice. I was going to say, just regarding your Soccer Brawl, because we obviously played that in the Pizza Cup. Which,
yeah, we were terrible. That was yeah.
But I did notice when we played it, it was either it would either go game. Left, across like that, or like that. That's the only the only way you can shoot or pass.
Yeah, it's not a football game. Yeah, it's not a football game. I think that's part of the problem. We were trying to play it like FIFA or a football game, and that's not what the game is. And I think, and once you have a joystick in front of you, the feel of the game completely changed as well. Maybe I'll get you to try it at some point next time we can all be in the same room. And I've been winning like 7-8-0 since, because I've stopped trying to play it like a football game, and I've tried playing it using the tactics of the controls and stuff that are available to it. There's a lot of defensive maneuvers that I just wasn't aware of, because we sort of just turned it on and plugged it in and played, didn't we? So having a few more goes at it, you sort of learn the other things that you can do and some of the tricks. And so who's your we're not weekly anymore, but we're keeping the name Dickhead of the Week. Maybe we can add an S at the end. Who's your Dickhead of the Weeks?
Oh,
I'm gonna have to crop.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. No, you go first.
Okay.
And it's been a tough couple of weeks.
It's been a tough couple of weeks, hasn't it? Especially watching the news and stuff.
I don't watch the news.
I watch too much news. That's what I think. That's where I get my information from, because I don't go out. I'm staying indoors.
You've created a little bomb shelter.
Pretty much. I'm just staying safe, mate. Staying safe until everything's good. But there's just too many people this week. I mean, there was last week there was Dominic Cummings, absolute joker. There was the police officer that murdered George Floyd. Absolute. What the fuck was he thinking?
The knee to the neck.
Yeah, that one. It was for about 8-9 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was, I think, the riots that are happening in America. I understand it's peaceful protesting, but riots are just it's not good. So I think mine is going to have to be. Yeah, I mean, as much as I could say so much about Dominic Cummings, I do want to kind of keep this short today. It's such to a point where my 12-year-old son knew as much as I did. Like he knew it wasn't right. He knew he was making things
in
up.
general, just about this.
Just about this. We don't know about his a normal personal life, but when it comes down to a thing like lockdown, he's the one that was like create the slogan, stay home, protect the NHS, save lives. And then he did what he did by going back to work when his partner had like symptoms, basically like symptoms. We don't know if they were the actual symptoms, but they were like symptoms. So you shouldn't have we were told not to go to work. Yeah. But he went to work anyway. And this is around the time where Boris and his medical advisor got sick as well. I think it was on the same day he got informed that his partner, but he still went to work anyway afterwards. That was problem number one. Number two, drove 260 miles to Durham and had a child in the back.
Durham.
And then what was it?
I was doing it for my son's sake.
I mean, was it, or did he just want to not be in his apartment in London and have the fresh air and be able to enjoy himself? And then because there was no childcare in the end, was there? There was, and he had family in London. They could have done the shopping for him if they needed to. He clearly didn't need. I guess he was watching out for the worst case scenario, but we was told on the specific orders as such not to leave home, especially if you got COVID-19. They left home and they had COVID-19. Absolutely madness. And then when he starts recuperating, oh honey, do you want to get in the car because my eyesight's a bit messed up? And bring the kid.
Need to test whether it's safe to drive. With my family in the back.
It's a 30-minute drive to
a town called Castle something. It was I think it's a town called Castle something or other.
But it was a tourist kind of area.
Yeah.
Around the time where you shouldn't be doing that anyway. Does that not? If you you drive a car, so if you had poor eyesight,
no, you should not. Yeah, anything like that, you should not be getting in a car at all.
Well, there you go. Because I'm sure that's against one of the offences, isn't it?
Yes.
Like DVLA highway code problem.
Visually impaired. Yeah, I know it's not as in visually impaired as in need glasses, but especially if you're having sight problems in regard to seeing specifically, no, you shouldn't be in a car. In fact, you can even be tested to say you're not allowed to drive anymore for your eyesight. So it's. Again, if he waited until the symptoms are cleared, it's still a stupid thing to do, but you don't get in a car and drive when you got eyesight problems, which again is questionable. Is it true, or is it, oh, I got caught, let me make an excuse? So,
well, it was his wife's birthday.
My birthday.
I would just say that. It was his wife's birthday. He obviously clearly just wanted to go out. He didn't want to be at his mum's house. Yeah. Sorry, he didn't want to be at his house. He wanted to be at his mum's house.
Well, he might have with his mum. We don't know that.
Well, apparently it was a little cottage just outside of it. But it was still on the property because they're a nice, wealthy family that can support each other and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then regrets he made that speech, didn't he? And I listened to it and I was like, some of it I can understand. Okay, you're worried about your kid. Fair enough. I can understand that. How many other people?
Then why did you put his life at risk? If you're that worried about him.
You literally hotboxed you and your family full of COVID in a box for about 4 to 5 hours. Well done. Well done. I mean, I'm just surprised Kafkas is not involved in this.
Yeah, when you're allegedly having eye concerns not eye concerns, but seeing sight issues, it's ridiculous.
It's madness. And then he regrets nothing. And I think that's why we all hate.
It's a stupid thing to say, isn't it? I regret nothing.
I'm sorry if that's how you feel.
I apologize, but I regret nothing. And I can pay the fine because I'm rich and I'm a politician.
Yeah, exactly.
What a dick.
Yeah. So
again, I feel for the family and the son because they're going to get ridiculed at school or at work, or it draws them into it as well, which is sad for them.
Yeah, I am very surprised with Boris for
Bo Ryder
supporting his team member so strongly.
This will burn him for a long time in regard to public relations of any kind when out and about. It's just going to be made his life very difficult. Why not just be genuine about apologizing, like you're saying I don't regret it. What a fucking dick.
What a twat. What a twat. And he is at least my dick of the week. So, your dick of the week. Who is your dick of the week?
So, just touching on what you said before about some of the stuff that was going in America and the riots and stuff, just want to quickly point out a positive thing, so less than a negative thing. And I've just lost it from my phone. No, it's gone. Tommy Earl Jenkins, the actor that does the voice of Die Hardman in Death Stranding, had a very positive message and outlook of the situation and what was going on. I'll put some link below rather than going too much into it, because without playing it aloud, he made a very valid point again around injustices that go on and approaches to injustices and things like that, and a couple of really good famous quotes. And I think the message was really positive. So it wasn't anything, I think, that just watching it was nice, because in the sea of negativity of it, and fair enough, in a lot of cases, like we're saying, a knee to the neck and all the stuff surrounding that thing is one thing altogether, and separating from the other stuff. Just the more positive approach to it was fantastic. So I kind of wanted to point that out, because it's a nice message, and it's positive. Dickhead of the week wise, I did have one, and now it's gone. Bring up. I don't think unless there's any more football stuff you want to talk about.
We just got to wait for the results. We've already made our stands of where things are.
I'll tell you what, here's a good one for the end. What do you think the lineup is going to be for Arsenal versus City? For Arsenal, what do you think their first 11 is going to be like? Stab in the dark.
Stab in the dark. Okay. All right. So Leno, Bellerin. No, I mean from the back.
Yeah.
So Leno, Bellerin, David Luiz, Socrates. I'd like to say Tierney, but I reckon it'd be Saka still, just because how strongly he ended. Xhaka, of course.
When the Wolves fell.
Unfortunately. Guendouzi. I'm hoping not Ozil, but
okay.
Maybe Ceballos. And then it's going to be Pepe, and then it's going to be Aubameyang, and then Lacazette. I reckon that would be the
forward front line. Nice one.
Yeah, well, the front line's going to be good.
Yeah,
I reckon so. What about you versus Spurs versus Manchester United?
I don't know whether he's going to go with 3 at the back and do 3-5-2, or if he's going to do. Let's pretend it's 4-2-3-1. I think that's the easiest thing to do for now. I'd rather it wasn't, but let's pretend it's that. De Gea in net. I think Wan-Bissaka, the team picks itself. Wan-Bissaka right back. Left back, Shaw, and then Maguire. And then I would like to see Tuanzebe, but I think it will be Lindelof. Then it will be Matic and Pogba, Bruno Fernandes just in front. And I think because it's Tottenham, I think you'll see Martial up front. And I think you'll see Martial on the left, Icarlo up front, and James on the right. And I think you'll see him bringing Rashford on.
Oh, you think Carlo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So someone holding the ball up so the others around him. I mean, it depends. I mean, if you're going to play Pogba and Fernandes together, you could have another fast striker there. I think it would be wise to save Rashford.
Cool. And that is the end of the Monday podcast. Come and check us out every other Monday. And in between those ones, it's going to be the talks with Graham Pike from the New Earth.
Yeah.
Yep,
Fanzine.
perfect. That's the one. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen it already, we are also doing plenty of other things as well on our channel. We have got Lockdown Tuesdays with Sly, who's going to be doing Neo Geo stuff. We've also got some Wednesdays during the month. There will be the Wednesday quiz show. I'll be hosting that. We've also got we've got the Division 2 coming up very shortly with a special guest. We've also got Gears of War 5. Well, I think that's in the works in the moment. And we are going to be having our new Cup series that's going to be coming on Fridays, but that will be coming up in probably a couple of months.
Yeah.
On Saturdays, it won't be this month, but it will be next month that I'll be starting to do my own series of Family Friendly on top of the Family Friendly series on Sundays with myself and Sly working together. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment down below.
Yeah.
Share with your friends, and don't forget to check us out on social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. SlyLSR.com/Sunaru Gaming.
That's it. Yeah, we can't be everywhere. Yeah. Or are we?
We might be somewhere. And
coming for you.
See you guys soon. Peace.
Bye.